That I will take your question. John.
Sarah, Admiral Mike Rogers, the head of the NSA, said that he has not been granted any additional authority by the president to confront Russian cyber intrusion interference with our election systems. Why has he not been given that authority?
Look, just this week they announced through the State Department that $40 million is being given to the Global Engagement Center to begin providing immediate support to private and public partners that expose and counter Russian and Chinese propaganda and disinformation. We're focused on looking at a variety of different ways. As I told you last week, Department of Homeland Security Secretary Kirstjen Nielsen met with a number of both state, local, and federal officials working on ways that we can best prevent things like this in the future. And we're looking at a number of different options, and we're going to continue doing that over the coming weeks.
But Admiral Rogers is the one that would have the agency that could actually go and confront Russian intrusion at the source, and he hasn't been given the authority. In fact, he says that the Russians haven't paid a sufficient price to make them change their behavior. He's the one with the power, with the means to do it. All he needs is a presidential directive, the authority from the president to do it.
I disagree with the premise of your question. It's not just one individual. It's looking at a number of different ways.
He's in charge of Cyber Command. Why not give him the authority?
Nobody is denying him the authority. We're looking at a number of different ways that we can put pressure. Look, this president, as I told you last week, has been much tougher on Russia than his predecessor. Let's not forget that this happened under Obama. It didn't happen under President Trump. If you want to blame somebody on past problems, then you need to look at the Obama administration. The president is looking at all of the different causes and all of the different ways that we can prevent it. And as we find different ways that we can do that, we're implementing them. Like you see with the money that was allocated from the State Department, as you see with the conversations that the secretary from the DHS is having, we're going to continue looking at different ways to combat it. And I would imagine that that will be certainly a big part of it. But I can't speak to anything further on it right now.
This is not about the past, though. This is not about the past. It's about protecting intrusion in the next election.
Exactly.
And he says he needs the authority, and he hasn't been given it.
Well, I can't speak to that specifically. I can tell you that we are taking a number of steps to prevent this, and we're looking at a variety of other ways that we're going to continue to implement over the coming weeks and months. Justin?
I had one on the renewable